Hello and welcome to part 7 of the RazorwireReviews Bat-a-thon. As I said, with this installment we'll be looking at Batman the movie. Holy Blu-ray! So, yeah, this film is mental. I heard about this years ago. Obviously, just like one of the first Batman things I ever knew was the Batman. So I knew there was some kind of Batman thing that happened years ago that was the genesis of the and it was in fact Batman the movie and Batman the TV series, which ran from 1966 to 1968. Originally the film was supposed to come out, and then that was going to sell the TV series like overseas and stuff. That was the plan, but then in 1966 the TV studio or TV company were like, holy shit, we haven't really got that many good TV shows lined up for 1966, so get the Batman show on now. So they rushed putting the Batman series out. So by the time this came out, I think the first season, or part of the first season, had already aired. So by the time the movie came out, it was huge. Like 1966, everyone just went Batman crazy. And you can see why. As I mentioned a few parts ago, the original 1943 Batman serial was re-released in 1964 under the title An Evening, or 1965, I can't remember which, I think it's 64, under the title of An Evening with Batman and Robin, which showed the whole serial in one marathon like showing. It was like a kind of cult thing, and like college kids would kind of go to the showings and stuff, and that kind of brought about this, the movie and the TV show, and they kind of took some of the like ridiculous scenarios from the movie serial and put it into the kind of just the process for this version of Batman, where everything is over the top and campy and hilarious. So Adam West here, he plays Batman, and he's brilliant. He holds the whole thing together because in Batman the movie there are 4 main villains. We got Catwoman, the Riddler, Joker and the Penguin, and they're just so over the top, so ridiculous, that if Batman was kind of, you know, joining in on the fun, it wouldn't work as well. But Adam West plays it so straight, even though he's got these ridiculous lines. You know, he just plays it just like it's the most serious thing in the world, and that's what makes it so funny. I didn't realise how much of a comedy this was in terms of like how much it embraces itself as a comedy. Like, I thought it was just bad and they thought it was great, but it turns out, you know, they did actually know what they were doing, and it is just hilarious. So, as far as Adam West being Batman, I think he's great. I think he looks the part when he's Bruce Wayne. The bat, you know, again, the bat outfit, the bat suit, it's still a little old-fashioned, dated, but, you know, it's kind of cool. The mask has got these weird kind of like eyebrow things going on, which is a bit weird. But overall I liked it. It was kind of colourful. That was the thing about the TV show. It was like shown in colour, which was a big thing. And of course the movie, and it was, you know, promoted as Batman in colour on the big screen kind of thing, which was really cool. And the whole film was just really colourful. Like, it just looked amazing on this Blu-ray. Especially Robin. Robin's outfit looks great. I think I really like Robin in this film. Like, the outfit, the look, everything is perfect as far as I'm concerned. So we get Burt Ward as Robin, and he's great. And apparently, you know, leading up to him getting the part of Robin, he actually he applied for a job at a gas station and was turned down. Then found out he was playing Robin, and then just became this like household name. And they picked him not because he was a great actor, not to say he was a terrible actor, but they picked him because he was young and he was kind of naive, and he had just the right kind of real life persona that Robin would have, or what they wanted Robin to have, and he looked like Robin. So they kind of just said, be yourself and read the lines and it'll work, and it did. Just like the whole, you know, holy whatever Batman, you know, he's brilliant. I love Burt Ward in this. I'd say, from what I've seen so far, Burt Ward and Douglas Croft are the 2 best Robins. Chris O'Donnell, nah, no chance. I don't know, I think Burt Ward's probably the best as far as this is concerned. I've seen a bit of the Batman and Robin 1949 serial, and that Robin was a bit weird, so I've got to, for now, give Burt Ward the honours as best Robin so far. Now the villains. We got the Riddler, Frank Gorshin. He's just awesome, like so manic, so over the top. But he's kind of like the most convincing, like, madman of the four, and that's what's great about the film, is they have the four biggest Batman villains joining forces. It makes sense for a film. And yeah, he's just like, he's got like the green skin tight kind of suit, and like the nice green like proper suits with like the question marks and stuff. And like, I'm ripping this off from one of the documentaries on the Blu-ray. Someone said that when he says these, like, you know, the crazy lines and stuff and the wacky things and he's laughing, every now and again there's a little inflection in his voice that just makes you kind of think, wow, that's a bit sinister actually. He could probably be a bit of a murderer there. Like, you know, outside of this whole wacky, crazy, harebrained scheme that the villains have, he seems a bit more sinister than the rest. Whereas you have like the Joker, who's just like fun and just like laughing all the time. And Penguin is just over the top, and Catwoman again, just really cheesy. Frank Gorshin's great as the Riddler, and his riddles as well. They're just so funny because they're just like the most convoluted things. And Adam West is like, what do you think that could mean, Robin? And Robin just extrapolates this ridiculous thing, and Batman's like, precisely the only possible outcome. Then we have Cesar Romero as the Joker, who famously didn't shave his mustache for the role, so he's just got the white paint over this big mustache, which is really weird. And it's also kind of weird because he's got like the painted grin, but a lot of times he's frowning and it just looks really weird. But he looks amazing as the Joker, the green hair, you know, just the white face, he's great, the purple suit and everything. And yeah, he's really fun as well. He's got like a good laugh and everything. And I don't know, just growing up with Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and then Heath Ledger just blowing out the water with the Dark Knight, going to Cesar Romero last, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, he's really good, but he's not blowing me away, I guess. And of course, you know, Mark Hamill, I think is, you know, I'll get into that in another video, but yeah, I enjoyed Cesar Romero a lot, and he is like the classic Joker, the first ever actor to portray in live action. And then there's Catwoman. We'll talk about Catwoman, played by Meriwether, and she's great. You know, she's attractive, so she's got that kind of storyline in the film where she kind of seduces Bruce Wayne, which is really cool, with her alter ego, Kitka or something like that, which is pretty good. And yeah, she looks good in the cat suit and everything, and it's a bit cheesy when she's like perfect, you know, and she's got a cat there. There's a bit where she just throws her cat and the cat just lands like that. You just feel really sorry for the black cat. But she was good. Probably I wouldn't say the weakest, well yeah, probably the weakest of the four, but it doesn't mean that she's bad in any way. Just she didn't have as much kind of, you know, of a mad kind of persona to play with, like Riddler, Joker, Penguin. Penguin, played by Burgess Merideth, who everyone should know as Mickey from the Rocky films. Just a legend of the stage and screen. And he's in this ridiculous film, and he just does brilliantly as Penguin. You know, he's got the monocle, the big massive cigarette stick that he's always chomping on, and he's just got this great kind of manic kind of grin on, well not grin, almost like a grimace all the time when he's always and whack 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 and waddling around and stuff. He has a lot of fun with the part, and it plays off. And the Penguin's really like the driving force of the villains in the film, because, you know, it's his submarine, you know, it's all the pirates are his kind of henchmen and stuff. And what I liked about the film was that whenever you see the villains in their hideout, like the camera's like tilted, and it's kind of like, you know, because they're crooked, I guess. Like, it's really cool. I like that. I like the way the film was shot. Some great stuff in it. I'm not going to go into the storyline. All you need to know is that the four main villains trying to take over the world, and there's this ridiculous thing where they've got this gun, right, and they shoot these world leaders sat around a table, which dehydrates them into little piles of powdered dust, and then they can rehydrate them with the gun to bring them back to life. Absolutely ridiculous, right? But it goes along with the whole thing, you know. And I love the Batmobile. The Batmobile's awesome. In fact, I can show you now. I got this from Chill Pilgrim 1138, a fellow YouTuber. This is the Batmobile. I love it. I was expecting it to be really crap, but I actually really like it. It's a really cool car. And, you know, because of the movie, they went all out. They had the Batmobile, the Batcop, the Batboat. And, you know, they've got those poles they swing down with the instant costume change. It's brilliant. And Wayne Manor's awesome, and Alfred's great as well. There's a scene where Alfred is he's out with Robin in the Batmobile, and Alfred's just got like a bandana around his eyes to protect his identity. It's just again ridiculous. Commissioner Gordon's really funny in the film. Nothing like you'd imagine him like from, you know, the later Batman films and stuff, but still he's funny and stuff. It's just a really funny film, lots of funny lines. There's a bit where they're trying to figure out who's behind everything when they don't know it's the four main villains. And the film opens with Batman on a ladder, the Bat ladder, in a helicopter, and this rubber shark bites his leg. He's punching it, and it's just like, what is this film? What a way to start it. And then later on, they're with the police office, like, who could it be? And Batman's like, that exploding shark was pulling my leg, the Joker. And then Robin's like, wait, it happened at sea. See? C for Catwoman. And you're just like, oh my god. This seems fishy. It must be the Penguin. It all adds up to a sinister riddle. Riddle? The Riddler? Not all four of them. That would mean global, you know, just brilliant. Adam West is just, I just really like this. I didn't think I'd like it as much. I was a bit wary of it, and I thought, like, yeah, it'll be fun, you know, but it'll probably be like a bore to get through, but just fantastic. One thing I will criticise, even though I think it's a great film, at the end of the film there's a big fight on the submarine and all the bad guys get, you know, rounded up and stuff. And then the film just carries on for like another 10 or 15 minutes when, you know, they've saved the day, and then they've got to like rehydrate these the world leaders, and it just goes on for ages. Like, they build this contraption and they're just like, is it going to work? And then like it works, and then Batman and Robin just slowly climb down a building on a bit of rope, and then it just ends. Like, the whole film is like energetic and loads of stuff going on, colourful, and, you know, it's got the fight scenes where they're hitting people and it's like wham, bam, kaplunk, and then, you know, it just like slowly ends. Like, the pace is kind of really just teeters off at the end, which is a bit weird. Anyway, really enjoyed it. As for the Blu-ray itself, amazing extras, really cool. You get Cape Crusaders, the Heroes Tribute, which is about a 15-minute documentary about the heroes of the film, mainly Adam West, Burt Ward, and people like Alfred, Commissioner Gordon. And you get like insight from people who were like influential with Batman, like writers of the animated series, people who are like Batman historians. I can't believe they actually exist, but they do. We also hear from Lee Meriwether, who's still alive, and she like gives some interviews, and these are like filmed for the Blu-ray. They're in high definition. Gotham City's Most Wanted, a 15-minute video on the villains of the film. That's great. Also goes into like the, you know, just the individual actors and stuff. And of course Lee Meriwether shares her experiences of being Catwoman. And then there's Batman: A Dynamic Legacy, half-hour documentary just about the TV series and how that came to be, and the movie and all that kind of stuff. Again, filmed for the Blu-ray, high definition. We don't hear from Adam West or Burt Ward on any of these though, which is a shame. Then there's the Batmobile Interactive Tour in high definition, where you get the Batmobile, and it's like, if you see it on a big screen, it's awesome, and you can just like turn it around like high definition video and look at any part you want, which is great. But one thing, it's really hard to navigate, because it's that thing where you like select the arrow like to turn it around, and when you select it, the colour is only slightly different from what it was on the other thing, so you're like, did I highlight that? And it's clumsy, and sometimes you end up going back to the main menu, and it's just like, I didn't like that. Batman on Location, mapping the movie, a cool but pointless feature where you can watch the film, say I'm the film, and then there'll just be like a map of like, it'd be the West Coast, I think, or the East Coast, yeah, the West Coast of America, where they filmed it in Los Angeles, like cutting across the screen, and you'll have a map of like the LA area, I think it's the LA area, and like whenever there's a scene in the film, wherever it is, it comes up on the map where it was shot. It gives you information where it was shot, images where it was shot. It's cool, but I wouldn't watch a whole film like that. I guess if you want to know where any of it was shot, you can just turn that feature on, so that's pretty cool. The Batmobile Revealed with George Barris, who's the guy who built the original Batmobile. This is from the DVD, it's in standard definition. He just stands there and talks about the Batmobile. And he comes up with this really weird story. He's like, I was once driving the Batmobile around for the press tour, and a policeman stopped me and he said, you can't drive that. And I said, but it's the Batmobile. And then he took me to jail. And then the judge said, don't you know that's the Batmobile? I'm demoting you to a dog catcher. And I'm like, okay, so that story obviously isn't true. But the guy looks about 90, so I don't know, like, it was a bit weird, but it was cool. He talks about all the gadgets and stuff, and like how many different cars they had, what uses they had. 5-minute feature, that one. And then there's a 2001 featurette from probably the DVD, about half an hour, no, it's about 20 minutes long, and it actually features Adam West and Burt Ward talking about the movie, which is good. It's good to have that on here. And then there's trailers. Actually, I really like the trailer. There's one in high definition, and it's it's Adam West and Burt Ward, and they're like, "There's a Batman movie coming soon," kind of thing. And then like, I can't remember what they say, but at the end of it, it's like, you know, Batman coming soon, and then it's like Adam West and Burt Ward in costume in the Batcave, and like Adam West said something, and then Burt Ward like cracks a joke, and Adam West almost laughs. You can see him almost smirk. It's really funny. And there's like a Spanish trailer as well. And then there's galleries to round it all off. And the galleries are great. I only looked at a few of them, but you get like posters from when it was released, like pictures from the premiere, pictures from Adam West's personal vault, promotional pictures, just all kinds of stuff. It's just really extensive. And then you get the commentaries. There's a commentary by the guy who wrote the film. I've only listened to a bit of it. I haven't got the time to listen to all of it. But yeah, he hasn't actually watched the film in 25 years, so he's like, you have to bear with me here. So that's pretty cool that you get the guy who wrote the film doing a commentary. Undoubtedly, the highlight of the whole set is the commentary by Adam West and Burt Ward, which is brilliant to have, and just within the first 2 seconds it's awesome. Burt Ward goes, "Hey Adam, pass the popcorn." And Adam West says, "Burt, look, it's a movie." Just in that classic just Adam West voice, and they're just cracking jokes about the whole thing, reminiscing and all that kind of stuff, and it's just brilliant. Definitely a highlight of the set, and I listened to all of it. Really, really cool to have that on here, and this is overall Blu-ray. Brilliant, looks great, sounds great, fantastic. Overall, really love this. As you can tell, I haven't really had a bad thing to say about any of these, you know, so far. Well, I guess Batman and Robin I wasn't too complimentary about. So there we go. That's part 7. Part 7 of the Bat-a-thon. Now the next 2 parts are going to be like compendium parts. I'm going to be talking about loads of different animated movies. So part 8 is going to be the Batman animated movies from 93 to 2003, and then the next part will be all the DC original animated movies that have come out since I think 2006. There's quite a lot of them, including Batman Gotham Knight, which I have on Blu-ray. So I'll be talking about all the animated films, and then after that I will probably be hitting Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So there you go, Batman the movie. I've probably forgotten some stuff, but 18 minutes is enough for you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Same bad time, same bad channel.